Welcome back. It's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. Today will be a special double feature as we as we showcase two different versions of the character known as Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. On our left, we have the comic book version of Ironheart, and on our right, we have Ironheart as she appears in the second Black Panther film, Wakanda Forever. This is an action figure that I actually reviewed years ago when it first came out. But my version of the figure was missing an accessory, so I went ahead and just bought another one. The price was below retail, and it's just a cool figure, and I didn't mind having an extra one just for the accessories. This is a figure that I thought I had in my collection, but I did not. And, I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. This is an older figure also, which came out 4 years ago in 2021. This one belonged to the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave, which included Modular Iron Man, the Vault Guardsman, Stealth Iron Man, Dark Star, Ironheart, which we have in hand, Hologram Iron Man, and then also Ultron. And then here, Ironheart is described as a certified super genius. Riri Williams turns a dorm room project into a high-tech, high-flying suit of armor and becomes a force for good. On this one, there is no bio, but if you've seen Wakanda Forever, you're kind of familiar with Riri Williams as is, and with the upcoming release of the Disney Plus show, this review, for me at least, is kind of timely. And today is May 26th, 2025. Right, so the first figure we're going to take a look at is this deluxe boxed figure. Like I previously mentioned, this is a figure I already have in my collection. But when I first bought it years ago, it was missing an accessory. And it was one of those deals where it just kind of always... It didn't make the figure like... unplayable or whatever, but it's just one of those deals where this kind of always bothered me, and I didn't mind getting another figure because the accessories are cool enough where they just make for great additional pieces for customs and whatnot. Alright, let's make sure everything here is accounted for. We have 3 hands. Do I have 3 hands here? Don't tell me I'm missing an accessory again. Excuse me. Let me see. Alright, so first off I have the head, which we have right here. I have that one blaster. Where is it? Alright, I got the blasters. I got the exhaust effects. And then I got the shoulder pads. Yeah, God, is this one missing stuff also? Just give me a moment. I think this one's missing stuff. God, it's like impossible. I can't ever get a complete version of this figure. Why is that? That's the one thing I hated about the tissue baggies, is that, you know, sometimes it's easy to like not remove an accessory like this hose here, or these little tiny effects. It's so easy to just like lose stuff. And I think I'm missing a hand. Am I missing a hand? Maybe not. I think. All right, I don't think I'm missing a hand, because they don't list. They don't even show all the accessories on here. They just show 2 open palms, which I have, and then they show 1 fist, and then she has a fist as stock hands. They show 1 of her forearm blasters, but she has 2. And then they do. Okay, yeah, this is just annoying. Right, so I do believe mine is complete, and I kind of wasted a lot of time on this video. Right, so yeah, we have Riri Williams here, aka Ironheart. Beautiful looking figure. If you're a fan of this collecting Iron Man armors, I think this one belongs in your collection for sure. She stands in at about a little under 5 or a little under 6 3/4 inches. Here she is next to the Marvel Legends X-Men Vulcan. Let's move this aside, so you can see the size. Really well sculpted head. You know, the portrait's beautifully done. Love the sculpting on the hair. It looks amazing. These arm pieces do come off, and then in order to do so, you have to remove the hands, which kind of comes Let me see if I get it off. If I'm doing this correctly, yeah. All right, so you remove the hands, and then the forearm pieces come off, and then you can swap one of them with the kind of like dual rail gun here. And you can attach that. Or does it still need the fist? Okay, yeah, you could put that on. Here are these are kind of like her rocket boosters on her back. And then you can attach those over here. And how does that work again? Am I doing this correctly? Yeah, so you can attach her boosters onto her back. Yeah, this is a great figure. I like this figure a lot. Where were those other pieces? And then here are the effects for the boosters. And then you plug those in. So when she's flying, it, they kind of it's kind of like the exhaust. And then you can swap out the head. I'm probably going to display mine without the helmet. And then that's a really cool look. There's this hose that attaches to the railgun, which you can plug it into either one of the boosters. Like that. And then don't forget, you have the additional blast effects, which if you want, you could attach it to her palm, like Tony Stark. Like that. You know when Tony does his palm blasts? Or if you want, you can also attach them underneath her feet. So when she rockets away, you can do that. And then there's the trails of smoke, which you just wrap around the effect. So it's a great figure. I like this figure a lot. I know a lot of people weren't too keen on the second Black Panther film. And the upcoming show, it's been getting a lot of hate already. It's not even on yet, but I'm looking forward to the show. I thought Riri Williams was the best thing to come out of the last Black Panther film. I'm a fan of the character, and this figure, it's really, really sick. This figure is awesome. The articulation, it's pretty spot on. The head could look up. She has a diaphragm cut beneath the breast line. These kind of pop off a little bit, but it's forgivable. Kicking the legs up is kind of a nuisance because the way the hips are cut, it kind of runs off onto a diagonal, so it's hard to get them straight. And then these are kind of stiff. But overall, this is a really beautiful figure. I like this a lot. And I'm kind of glad I got a second one because even though my first one was missing some accessories, I'm probably going to use that for a custom. But this looks phenomenal. All right, so there's that one. Let's take a look at this one here. All right, so we have Riri Williams as she appears in the comic books. Much like the MCU version, this also comes with trails of smoke. Whereas these were kind of like gray translucent pieces. These over here are gray and opaque. She also comes with similar blast effects. These are a different color. These are blue. These are kind of like a very light blue. I believe they're the same in terms of the sculpt. She comes with Ursa Major Build-A-Figure piece, this giant bear leg. She comes with the open palms, which these are not, I believe these are not articulated like the other one. I think the other ones are articulated. Yeah, the ones that come with the MCU version, they're articulated, and then you can actually move them up and down. Whereas these are kind of just set in one position, unfortunately. And then here is the Riri Williams head for the comic book. And then here is the live action one. And here are the figures next to each other. You can see the MCU Disney figure is a lot taller than the comic book version. One thing I've been wanting to try is this. I'm going to swap the head out. Because I do like this helmet, but I kind of miss the gold on the faceplate. And hopefully they share the same size ball joint. Yeah, I dig this look a lot better. For me, this feels more at home with the gold faceplate. It looks awesome. And how does a black plate look on this one? Yeah, and this works also too because there's some black trim on the Under Armour. So this look also works. Surprisingly. I'm going to swap out her hands because I do like the open palms for the blast effects. I always love the Iron Man figures. They're so cool. There's so many, too. There's like a million Iron Mans. But it's cool to get Ironheart. And then it's unfortunate that you can't fold at the wrist like with the other hand. But at least you got plug in the blast effect. So if you want to, recreate those effects where she's like you know, shooting at people, go for it. His head does not want to go in. God. Give it a moment. There we go. Yeah, so overall, great figure. This one's a lot shorter. This one stands in at about a little under 6¼ inches. The articulation on the comic book, Riri Williams, it's decent. You know, it's has all the bells and whistles. It's a very clean figure too. I'm glad the pins. It's a pinless design on the limbs. So this one's legs kick up a little bit easier than the other one. But yeah, very happy with this purchase. Great figure. So if you're like me and if you're kind of excited about the new show and you passed up on either of these figures, you know, they're worth a second glance. You know, I think this one especially is amazing. And like I said, when you do the head swap, this one just feels like an upgrade with the gold faceplate. All right, so let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.